everyone, and welcome back to It All Starts With a Wish podcast. My name is Rachel.
And I'm Mark. So, before we really, get into today's episode, a few things that, one of these we've, failed to mention for, the last few months, and I feel bad about it. And then, other stuff, more pertinent right now. So, first off, your cousin, who is a religious listener, we'll say.
Yes.
Maybe our number one fan. You know who you are. Shout out to Rachel's cousin. She had her second child.
She did.
Gosh, now what? A few months ago? 2 months ago, maybe?
About?
I
don't know. Time goes by too quickly.
Time does. Yeah, it might be longer. It might be shorter than that. But anyways, congratulations to them. We won't say their names because I don't want to, disclose people's names on the podcast. But congratulations to them for their second healthy baby boy. Another Disney fan, hopefully another fan of the podcast. Your cousin emailed us a few months ago, and their oldest son apparently loves the intro music.
Yes.
And will run into the room when we start playing the intro music. So here we are brainwashing.
Similar to how Coco Melon starts with the little kids.
Yeah.
There's that buzz. And they're
Coco Melon!
Ears are up, eyes are looking. Where did that come from?
Anyways, congratulations to them, and continue to brainwash the next generation of Disney fans. Also, this month has been crazy. June is insane for us because of all the graduations and dance recitals and other stuff.
Yeah. 2
of my nieces have graduated from high school. That's hard to say and hard to believe. But congratulations to the 2 of them for successfully getting through 4 years of high school off to the next best thing. So know that we are very proud of both of you. Congratulations. And one of them just had her last dance recital this past weekend.
I was emotional.
And did her solo. It was very,
very what?
Cool. I don't know.
Very cool.
It was sad, but it was, nice to see her do that.
Yeah.
And she had some of the best choreography in the whole thing, and she's a senior.
Her choreography.
Correct.
Not the choreography that she danced to.
Correct.
Yes. Yes.
Anyways, so congratulations to both of my nieces for graduating from high school. And you have 2 cousins that just graduated from high school as well. So congratulations to both of them as well. Okay, with all that out of the way, congratulations to all the graduates.
Everything happens at once.
It really does. Congratulations to all the graduates out there. If you're listening and anybody graduated from college, high school, middle school,
beyond
preschool, I don't know, whatever. Congratulations.
There's a lot of graduations in June, so.
Well done. You did it. Plan a Disney trip to celebrate.
I think that would be a great idea.
Anywho's. So...
we should just go for them.
I mean, I love that, especially if they're going to pay for it.
You always say that. No one's going to pay for a Disney trip.
So,
we're still not over this?
Still not over what?
These jokes.
No, this is, obligatory. I have to do a dad joke.
Oh, man.
We also just celebrated one of my other, my only nephew, but one of my other, I was going to say, nieces and nephew birthday, because it was in June.
Yeah.
But my only nephew's birthday, and so...
And it was Father's Day.
And it was Father's Day. Oh, yeah, happy Father's, belated Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I worked on Father's Day, so it wasn't much of a day off for me. But anyways.
He's a little salty.
Daughter. Dad, why is there a 4 candle on the cake? I'm turning 15.
Okay.
Dad, it's the only candle I had, so it's for your birthday.
Oh, man.
Happy birthday to my nephew. So the other day, I was walking on the treadmill at the gym, which is my normal thing. You know, you go, you do your weights first, and then you do your inclined walk after. Can I just say something about people at the gym? these jamokes who put the thing on like incline 15 and are like walking up like
to the moon.
Yeah, like they're climbing Everest, and they got the thing on like speed like 5 miles per hour, and they're freaking flying with it.
Yeah.
What do though? They hold on to it. They like grab onto the machine and hold on to the machine. Hello? Is there a problem with this? Yes, there is a problem with this. You're like not doing the workout because you're holding on with your arms.
I know, but you're gonna fall off.
That's my point. Don't put it on 15 at speed 5. Nobody can walk up that normally. That's why people hold on. But when you hold on, the minute that you do that, you're not getting as good of a workout out of it.
I mean, I've done that before, and it still hurts your legs.
Yes, but you'd be better off at like 9 incline at like a 3 mile per hour. That's usually what I do. 9 incline.
Isn't there like a thing out there that's like 15?
Because then you actually get
10, 3 or something. It's like if you do the 15. I guess you're right. You shouldn't hold on.
You shouldn't hold on.
At like 3 miles per hour, so you're not going to fall off because you're like running. And then you do it for like 20 minutes or something like that. It's a thing.
Okay, but that's fine. But it's these people who like hold on to the machine. Like, you're defeating the whole purpose of this. The whole purpose of this is to get your cardio going and to work your legs and your ab muscles by holding on while you're working your arm muscles. Like, I mean,
your cardio is still getting
up,
though. You're
defeating the purpose
like,
of
running.
it, though. You're defeating the whole purpose of the incline walk.
Well, they're doing it. I'm not.
They drive me nuts.
They do more than me.
It just drives me nuts when people do that. And they're like... I'm like, you idiot, you're holding on. Let go of the machine. Please let go of the machine. Anyways, so I'm walking on the machine. And, you know, the gym has like 50,000 TVs and everything's like all different. And one of my favorite pastimes at the gym is to watch like the news channels that are on right by the side by side. And it's usually in the gym Fox, CNN, and MSNBC. And I always get a good chuckle out of when they're all talking about the same exact story, but like the take is so dramatically different.
Like the titles.
Yeah. Like, my brother-in-law was like, you were getting into politics the other week.
Oh, goodness.
Even though I don't think I was getting into politics.
We
I was
did?
just making a joke. Made a joke about the current president.
Yes.
It was not intended to be a political statement. It doesn't matter if you're his biggest fan or you're not your biggest fan, you know. It was not a political statement. It was just I was...
He is the president.
Making a joke about the president. Yes. I make jokes about other presidents, too. It's not a political thing. Anyways. But
is this somehow going to go back to Disney?
The same story and like so vastly different. Well, anyways, they usually also have like Good Morning America or some kind of like generic like morning show on right next to ESPN. So I kind of like ESPN goes to long commercial breaks. So my eyes wander to the other TVs and I laugh and giggle about like terrorists, blah 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 blah. And then, like, American people protesting against authoritarian dictator. And, like, it's just so, like, vastly different. Like, one's calling them rioters, the other one's calling them... Anyways. This news story came on about this dude who... Apparently, this is viral. Good people who listen to this podcast. I'm not on social media. I don't do that whole thing. But apparently there is this viral... No.
Oh.
There is this viral proposal that this dude had.
Oh.
Where he, like, paid for, like, a little, like, mini, like, quartet to play music. And, like, he brought her in the back room. And there was this quartet and all these candles. And it was all, like...
So romantic.
So romantic. Ugh. Anyways.
Great.
And he proposed. And it's, like, a viral thing. And they were interviewing them and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, you know, an interesting topic for the podcast. When you look at the demographics of our listener base of our podcast, it's mostly 20 to 40-year-old women.
Mm.
And some of them may very well have, you know, their significant others, whoever those people may be. And they may be hoping or planning one day to, you know, get engaged. And maybe they'll do it in Disney.
Maybe.
And I was like, it would be an interesting topic to talk about, you know, like proposals in Disney and like where would be good spots. That way, if one of these fine human beings who listens to our podcast, wanted to drop it for their significant other to listen to some ideas,
I'm sending this to you just as a... Sending this your way just as a hint,
Hint, hint, hint.
Dropping the hint.
I thought that would be an interesting podcast episode. And then the other day, yesterday, we were listening to the radio at work, driving in the car, and there was a story about how a dude used the Chat GPT for his proposal. Listen,
don't get
this
Mark started
AI
on
stuff,
Chat GPT.
No, this AI stuff's getting out of hand. Like, everybody's going to lose the ability to think or to process or to do anything on their own. And we're going to be dumb. You ever watched WALL-E? You ever watched iRobot, people?
Yeah.
Wake up. That's all I got to say. Wake up.
I think it can be a good tool, but it shouldn't replace your thinking.
Does that ever work with humanity? Do you look around us?
Look around, how lucky we are to be alive right now. Sorry.
No.
Sorry.
I was going to use the, look around us, Ellen. From Christmas Vacation.
He won't continue that.
No.
Right?
If you know, you know.
Anyways.
Anywho's.
And if you know, I feel like we've talked about it a little bit before, but we also got engaged in
We did.
Walt Disney World.
We did indeed.
So, the first place that I can think of is the quintessential one.
Oh,
that
there we go.
Everybody does or wants to get, or this is the place to do it, and that's in Magic Kingdom in front of Cinderella's castle.
Everybody and their mother. I swear, every time that we go, we will see at least 2 or 3 proposals in front of the castle. And that's a low
I get
number.
why.
It's so generic, though. It's so, there's nothing special about that. I'm sorry. There's nothing special about that.
Whoa.
Okay, because everybody else does it. We got to think outside of the box here.
Right. And that's why we're doing other places
Correct.
to get engaged.
Correct. Because these poor dudes who are proposing are like, I don't know where else to do it. Well, we'll just do it where everybody else does it. And we'll get the PhotoPass photographer to take the pictures for us in front of the castle. And everybody will be like, oh, it's so cute. They love each other.
I can say that for specific people, this works. Right? I think so. For specific people, if you have a girl who loves the princesses and wants that whole
be more
fairy
creative
tale
than on Magic Kingdom in front of
I'm just saying,
castle.
if that is what she wants, then that's what she wants.
But you could be a little more creative and do it other places, not on Main Street.
Well, I'm just saying. Yeah, I guess so.
You could take her to see her favorite princess and propose as you're in the character meet and greet with the character there.
You know what would be even cooler? Honestly, if we're around the castle, I think something early in the morning when there's not a lot of people there and you can walk through, or when it's about to close, inside that tunnel.
Inside of the castle.
Yeah, but on in the entrance way.
Yeah.
To the front.
Sure.
Where you're on the castle.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool.
That would be neat.
Or the wishing well. That would be cute.
Yeah. A little quieter too.
Yeah.
Not as many people, a little more intimate.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you still wanted the PhotoPass people, you can get somebody to follow you.
Sure can. Or you can just take a picture after.
That's what we did.
With the PhotoPass people. I think everybody misses the perfect opportunity in Magic Kingdom.
Where are you going?
The People Mover. Let me explain.
Oh, yes. Which is so funny because you told me this before we got engaged, and I knew that you wouldn't do it because you already told me, but it's just funny that you didn't do this.
On the People Mover, there is a section of that ride where you go into the pitch dark. Around Space Mountain. And it's completely dark. And I think it would be the perfect thing that you go in the dark, you pull out the ring, and then when you come back out into the light, You're there with the ring open, and you
Surprise!
ask her, like, come on one of the best rides in Magic Kingdom. Tell me that's not a great idea.
No, I did think that was a good idea. I just think it's funny that you think it's such a great idea,
And
but you
nobody
didn't
else
do
does it. Nobody else does it.
But you didn't even do it.
No, we had something more special.
Okay.
We'll get there.
All right.
We'll tell them that last. We'll
Okay.
tell them what we did last.
All right.
But I think the People Mover is an ideal spot in the Magic Kingdom. Specifically that part of the ride where you go from pitch dark back out into the light and be like, wha-bang, there's the ring, girl. Will you marry me?
Wha-bang. I really can't really think of anywhere else in Magic Kingdom.
I think
there are
it's
quiet
specific.
spots everywhere. Because I think it depends on if you have a favorite ride.
Right.
Does she have a favorite ride? Does he have a favorite ride? Whoever we're proposing to, like, is there something special about that ride between the two of you? Is there a funny story attached to it? So obviously all of this is very personal.
Yes.
And you gotta think. You know?
Correct. Yeah. Find something that like makes sense for you, obviously. And there may be a ride in Magic Kingdom that may make sense, or there may be a restaurant in Magic Kingdom that may make sense for the two of you. Maybe where you went on your first date, or something. Right? Just think a little bit more than Main Street, please,
Okay.
for the love of all things.
Of all things.
Think of something a little more creative.
I think it would be funny if she didn't know
Another great idea.
about the camel, and you went right in front of there and you nailed down, and then they got sprayed with the camel.
That may not be the best way to start the rest of your life together.
No, probably not.
Another perfect place, the beach at the Polynesian after the fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all go out, get yourself a nice meal at like the Poly or the Grand Floridian or the Contemporary. You head on over to the Polynesian. You mark out a spot on the beach to watch Happily Ever After. Hello. It's in the name, Happily Ever After. You watch some Happily Ever After. You know, you see Tinkerbell flying. Like, how magical. And then after that, on the beach.
On the beach.
You get
Specifically
down.
on the sand.
You get down on one knee and you ask. Sounds pretty romantic, doesn't it?
It definitely could be. Huh?
Huh? Rather than the middle of a hot park on Main Street, USA in the heat of the day.
Middle of the day.
Like, did you even think this through, dude? Did you even think it through?
No, it's like a no-brainer. They're
No.
going to be happy.
Yeah, it's stupid. That's what it is. Stupid. Think a little bit. Beach at Polynesian after the fireworks. You're welcome. Another beach location that I think would be perfect. At night.
Mm-hmm.
The Beach Club Beach.
A little dark over there, though.
It is a little dark, but think of that view and think of those pictures. The boardwalk in the background, all lit up nice. That nice beach club, like soft, jazzy, like beachy music playing in the background. Maybe after you went and like got ice cream at like Beaches and Cream or something. You went and had yourself a nice meal at the Yachtsman Steakhouse, or you had just walked along the boardwalk together, had a few beverages over at Abracadabra or something.
Wow, you really planned this whole thing out.
Like, come
Are you
on.
planning to ask somebody?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Not you. No, I'm joking.
Wow. No, that would be good.
Perfect spot.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect spot. And think if you got a friend or someone to take pictures of you, think of that view of... I always forget. Not Hourglass Lake. That's
Crescent.
Crescent Lake. Thank you.
My goodness. How many times do I have to tell you?
I don't know. Probably 10,000 more.
A bajillion.
Crescent Lake and the boardwalk in the background. Like, come on. It's perfect. You're welcome.
I would probably pick the firework and the Polynesian over that, but yes, that's also a good thing.
You could watch the fireworks at Epcot and then walk your way over.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I'd probably pick the happily ever after ones. That's all.
Whatever.
That's all. That's also a good one.
Know yourself, though, too, right? If your person is really into Star Wars, maybe in front of the Millennium Falcon.
At night.
I know a lot of weirdos.
At night with your lightsabers lit up.
Oh, whoa. Wow. we just took nerd to the whole new level right there. Holy moly. That was the nerdiest thing I've ever heard. But
why?
For a certain percentage of the population, that's not a bad idea,
no,
you know?
It's not.
There are some people who would think that was amazing. You know, you get your little maybe one is the dark side, maybe one is like the Jedi, and you know, you got your lightsabers and you ask in front of the Millennium Falcon. That is legitimately a beautiful spot at night too.
Yeah, no, it is really, really cool. All lit up and
like the lighting and the mountains in the background.
Yeah.
And
no,
stuff
it
like
is
that.
really, really cool. Yeah, that's a good one.
So yeah, for a certain percentage of the population who are Star Wars hardcore Star Wars people. That's not what I was going to say. Hardcore Star Wars people. Those people, right? That could be the perfect place.
Those people.
A new lounge actually just opened in Epcot. Mm-hmm. GO 82, which is connected to Spaceship Earth in the back. And it's really cool. It is 21 plus. It's the first location in a Walt Disney World theme park that is 21 plus.
Wow.
There's other places that are, but are not in a theme park. It's the first one.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can think of like the piano bar and stuff,
but it's a really nice spot with beautiful views of the fireworks in Epcot. So that could be a great location. You know, during the fireworks or after the fireworks.
Yeah,
it's very expensive.
Yeah.
Note that.
I'm going to say if you're more of a restaurant type person, like a firework restaurant type thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, the rooftop, whatever.
The California
Yeah.
Grill. The Contemporary.
I thought the name changed. Why am I mixing it up with something else? Anyway, California Grill at the Contemporary would also be really cool.
Yes.
Even just the rooftop at the fireworks, if you went there earlier in the day, you can bring your receipt and go back up there to watch the fireworks. So even doing something like that and then going back on the rooftop would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good spot. Good spot. Another good spot. Does your person really like animals? Maybe you take them on a little Wild Africa trek.
Maybe.
And you get this behind the scene look at all these cool animals. And then when you're out at the little hut on the savannah having your little snacks, you pop the question then, huh? With zebra and wildebeest and giraffe and elephants visible in the distance. For a certain percentage of the population, you are in the middle of the African savannah. What more remarkable
Pandora would
place
be cool too.
To propose. Pandora would be cool too at night. It's not a bad spot either at night. But the Wild Africa trek, to me, it's a specialty thing.
No, and those views are so good.
And you know what? Gosh darn it.
What?
They ain't expecting it. They ain't expecting it on the Wild Africa trek. I'm just saying that. You get out there, you're having yourself some snacky snacks, having yourself some beverages, and then you pop the question, they're going to be surprised. That's going to be magical. That's going to be magical.
It's a small crowd, so it's not in front of a lot of people.
Right.
Because there's only
And you tell your people that are with you, and they're all photographers too.
Yes.
And they're going to pop some pictures.
And he means the cast members, not
right.
the random people that
are with you. Well, maybe the random people who are with you are also.
Maybe they are, but they'll have nice cameras. Maybe the other ones have nice cameras too. I don't know. I don't think you can take any of those things with you. FYI.
Take any of what things?
Big electronic things. I don't think we could.
I don't remember. Yeah, no, because they had to take the pictures for us.
You couldn't take any of your own stuff. So anyways, that would also be cool. I mean, honestly, I think any of the countries have really great scenery. And you know what would be more secluded is behind.
What?
I know. I'm gonna tell you. Is walking back to Canada and all those waterfall bridges back there.
Yeah.
that you don't see unless you go back there.
Oh, Canada.
You don't have to watch the film.
Our home and native land.
Okay. Anyways.
True
All right.
patriot love.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. But back there is really nice, and I feel like there's not a lot of people that go back there.
Like much restraint that took me to not continue singing that
I
song.
understand. Thank you.
Because I wanted to interrupt you so bad, and I still interrupted you, but I wanted to continue.
No. Please, you continue.
In all of our command, with glowing
No. We're done.
heart, we see.
Can you
rise,
stop?
the true north, strong and free. Sorry. Continue.
Are you done now?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yes.
All right. Anyways, back in there. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. And then you broke out into song.
Mm-hmm.
Next.
Canada would be a cool place.
Are there any other? I mean, Japan has those cool gardens and stuff in the back, too.
They do, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
China's got some neat places with, like, the ponds, with, like, the fish in them.
Even back in the UK gets that garden back there. Probably doesn't get a lot of foot traffic at certain times.
Morocco,
either.
like... There's some
Morocco,
really
and
pretty
if you go all the
places.
way into the back,
Yeah.
you have no idea how far back that pavilion even goes.
Yeah.
It just keeps going.
It does.
There's so much stuff back there, and I feel like no one walks back there because it's like,
Yeah.
it doesn't look like anything, but there's so many stores and like just beautiful architecture and stuff.
And there are several restaurants, too, in the World Showcase, keep in mind, on the GL82 kind of, like, track where there are firework viewing from them. So getting a reservation at a certain time and, proposing during the fireworks.
Really had to think about that one.
What
are we talking about
again? Listen.
Outside of Italy too is those really pretty bridges and like what would you call it? Like platforms, I guess, that go out over the water. You can kind of see Spaceship Earth like in the background and stuff. So like that's where they do a lot of the actual weddings pictures and stuff. If you actually got married, we've seen quite a few brides too.
Yeah.
Walking around Epcot like in their
pictures.
dresses. Yeah. Which is just crazy to me because, like, I don't think I'd want to be around that many people. I mean, good for you.
Yeah.
That you have the money to do that. One. First. Congratulations. And, yeah, it would be cool to do a Disney fairy tale wedding. But, anyways, any other places in...
So I think that those were the ones that I had written down, at least.
You know where you could do it for me?
Where?
On Living with the Land.
As you float by the cucumbers.
Oh, man.
I could have said something else,
Yeah,
but this is a family show,
no.
so I won't talk
Cucumbers
about that.
is fine.
Anyways, yes, Rachel's favorite ride.
Anyways.
For some reason. Should we tell them what we did?
Yeah. Well, how did you plan it?
How did I
You
plan it?
Yeah, you planned it. I had no idea. I was in La La Land the whole time.
Well, it was quite simple. So the predecessor of the predecessor of the predecessor of the fireworks shows that are now in Epcot was Illuminations, Reflections of Earth, and I always liked Illuminations. I think you always liked it too, but we particularly, even like from the first time we went when we were in high school together, through our college years and stuff, always loved the song that played after Illuminations, like the song that they play as you're walking out of the park. It's called Promise. You can look it up. It's a beautiful song.
You could type in Promise Leaving Epcot.
Yes.
And it will pop right up. The Leaving Epcot song.
Yes.
Very
Beautiful
random.
And it was a song that in
It went
many
with
ways,
Illuminations, but also just Epcot in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was kind of like a song that became our song. Mm-hmm. And so...
Which basically meant we sang it walking out of the park together.
Yes.
And all other times.
Would listen to it in the car and stuff like that together.
Which is funny because I don't think it's meant to be like a love song. Like it is.
It is a love song.
It's a love song, but like you can also like you can spin it other ways too. Like you know what I mean? It's kind of like one of those universal songs, but anyways, continue.
We'll go on.
Yeah.
Anyways. So I knew that was the most sensible thing to do. At that point, we were very much big fans of Teppanyaki in the Japan Pavilion, one of our favorite restaurants at that time. The noodles have suffered lately. I think on the next trip, though, we need to give it a try again.
Yeah, I think we should.
See where it's at. Because they may have
Yeah,
fixed the problems
maybe
that they were
fixed
having,
it.
and
I
maybe
hope
it'll
they
become
did.
a favorite again. Who knows? But I knew that we should go there for Teppanyaki, so we did that. So I made reservations for Teppanyaki before the fireworks, and that almost backfired because the fireworks started going off before we got the check.
He was panicking.
Yes, and I was like, we need the check, and Rachel was like, well, we've seen the fireworks 1,000 times. Like, it's not a big deal if we miss them. And I'm like, no, we need to get out of here now. And we did. Caught most of the fireworks.
Yeah.
We had friends who were down there. They met us so they could video and photograph it.
Yes.
Our song came on. We started dancing and singing together.
First of all, he asked me to dance publicly. Red flag number 1. I knew something was up. I said, why would he ask me to dance in public like this with all these people around? That's when the panic started. Because I knew. A good panic, but like the... Oh my god, it's coming.
And then I asked.
It's actually happening.
And she said yes.
I said, yeah! Actually, is what I said.
Right in front of the
Are you serious?
Pagoda, is that what they call those things?
Oh, I don't know what they're called.
Like the thing in the water in
in Japan.
I think it's called a pagoda.
Yeah, right there.
Right there. With Spaceship Earth in the background.
Yep.
After the fireworks, during our song, Promise. And then that was our first dance song, too, at our wedding, was Promise.
Just kept it going.
And we have a sign on our wall that says Mark and Rachel with our wedding date on it. And the lyrics of Promise in the shape of a heart that your mother got for us, which was a very nice gift. I do miss
Which is
that
funny
song.
because, like, it's, you know, it's not a mainstream song.
No.
Like, you would not know it at all.
No.
Like, you have to search Promise Leaving Epcot song.
Yes.
Like, not just Promise by... I don't even know who it's by. Like, it doesn't even give you an artist. Like, it's so specific to Disney that it's like... Anyways. It was fitting.
It was very fitting.
It was good.
It was perfect.
Fun fact, I walked around
because
with a ring.
I thought about it.
You did think about it.
Unlike these other
Oh, the
jamokes.
castle's fine.
Whatever.
Fun fact is that I walked around with the ring in the backpack.
She was so trusting and so, like...
This could have been your red flag to me. Like, how
So, like,
trusting is she?
aloof to the whole thing. Tell them the safe story.
Why did you say it like that? Because you knew I was going to say it? Because that's just, in hindsight, I don't know why I didn't push. I just didn't. I just said, okay, and just left it alone. But Mark was pointing things in the safe, which this is not an abnormal thing. This is what he does. I've never used a safe in my life in a hotel. Just saying.
That's
he
very
does.
unsafe.
He uses one all the time. And I asked, hey, what did you use for the code in case I need to get in there? And he said, oh, don't worry about it. Just ask me if you need something and I'll get it. And I said, all right. And that was it. I never brought it up again. I was like, okay. And then, you know, I just thought he was being chivalrous with getting stuff out of the backpack for me, but he wasn't. It was because it was in there. He didn't want to leave the ring in the room, so he brought it with us every day before he proposed. It was with us in the bag, and I had no idea. What were you going to do if they, like, searched the bag or something?
Just wouldn't
block
search
me?
it that bad. Yeah.
They're like, it's fine. I'll take the bag. You go wait over there.
Yep.
Take it from me. And I'd probably go, okay.
That's why I carried the bag the whole trip.
Yeah, you did. I carried it a few times.
Not that many.
Not that many, but I was like, you sure you don't want me to hold the bag for you? Like, you're holding it a lot. No, it's fine. Oh, I was gonna say, it's gonna be gone, though. So I'm not even gonna say the spot, because it's not even gonna be there.
Well,
But
just say it now.
on Tom Sawyer's Island, in the back where you can watch Thunder Mountain, where those rocking chairs are. That's
a
pretty
quaint little
quiet.
place, yeah. Be sure, if you do propose in Walt Disney World, that you get your few things. You can get a pin for this. Ask the front desk, tell them. Or find places where they hand out the pins in the parks. You can get...
They have it engaged, just engaged.
Just engaged pin.
Or a happily ever after one.
Yeah. I think the happily ever after is more intended for people who are on their honeymoons or
We got both,
celebrating
though,
an
didn't we?
anniversary. We did get both. But yeah, no, they have just engaged pins, so make sure you get yourself one of those.
They put the date on it for
Make sure
you.
that you take photos with a PhotoPass photographer and tell them like what the situation is, and they'll pose you in appropriate so like, people
Show
can
off the
see the
ring.
ring and all that stuff. So
Kissy.
take advantage of that for the rest of the trip. Obviously, if you have PhotoPass, right?
Oh yeah, you
If
take a
have
picture
Memory
everywhere.
Maker, take those pictures.
Picture of the ring
people.
everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So
You paid enough for it.
that's dang right. You paid enough for it.
Oh my gosh. Stop.
Anywho's,
Well, hopefully this gave somebody some good ideas.
yes.
Something different. Not just the castle.
And we know, ladies, you listen to this. Just put
Send
this
it.
playing in the background or something one day,
Yeah.
when you're at
Happen to be
just
listening
make
to
a
it.
point.
Yeah.
To play it in the background, like when you guys are hanging out or doing something around an apartment or whatever, you're cleaning or something. Just put this on, just let it play in the background, and who knows, maybe your person will get an idea. And
Will they pick up what you're putting down?
They might.
I don't know.
They may not, and they may just ask you on Main Street like every other boob out there. But
That's not nice to the people who did do that.
I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that.
I'm sorry. Are you though?
No.
Okay.
Anywho's, as always, folks, you can follow us on our social media accounts. Remember, we are on YouTube now, too. You can send us an email at startswithawish.podcast@gmail.com. And heck, hey, if you get engaged in Walt Disney World and your person uses any one of these locations that we talked about, you sure as heck better send us an email.
Yep.
And I want credit for it. Or we want credit for it. Some of these were your
gosh.
ideas. But if they were any of my ideas...
Some of these were my...
if any of these were, the ones that I had...
Yeah.
That person...
Especially the people
better
mover.
cite me and
Especially
be like...
the people mover.
I got this from Mark at All Starts With a Wish
Yeah.
podcast. That's where
Yeah.
this came from.
Yeah.
You cite your sources, gosh darn it. Okay?
Yeah, they won't care that you didn't think of it. Just that you did it.
That's right. That's right.
Because you did. You did your research
And
on
they'll
it.
be like...
And you found the answer.
That dude Mark's a genius. Send us an email, though.
Such a genius.
Let us know if you use any of these sites. Or have used these sites. Or if you have any other ideas, too.
Yeah.
Heck.
Let
I'm
us
not
know.
going to use them, but... maybe somebody would. I don't know.
You better not use them.
Well, I'm kind of not able to use them right now. It's kind of
Wow, you sound so sad about that.
I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very happy I don't have to do any of that again.
That was too stressful for you.
Yes. Yes.
No PDA or attention. Mark
No.
doesn't like the attention.
Nope.
of the wedding or the pictures or anything.
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope.
No fun.
Do not like that stuff.
Yep.
So.
But he did it. Good
I
for
did
you.
it.
One and done.
One and done. Oh yeah.
No one can see us
Fist pumps.
bumping.
That nobody on the podcast can see.
But it's fine.
Send us an email. It starts with a wishthoughtpodcast@gmail.com. And remember, folks, if you're planning to get married or you're planning an engagement in Walt Disney World, like everything else in Walt Disney World, it all starts with a wish.
Whoa.
We'll see you real soon.
That was... Bye.